On my second day of school, the halls are silent, but the place is electric with hostility. It buzzes in spaces where conversation should be, a lamp with faulty wiring. The counselor must have said something to everyone. The other kids whisper and point and stare. I can't help. I can't hear what they're saying, but I can guess. Their narrowed eyes and tight-lipped frowns say enough. The girl from the water fountain catches my eye and immediately whispers something to the large group guy beside her. Please don't let this be another Thomas Mays incident. I don't want to have to walk around with a knife on me at all times. Even if I find one, there's traitors are all locked up along with his guns. If I even find one. Traitors are all locked up with his guns. I find my locker without confrontation, but I can't figure out how to get the damn thing open. I turn the dial a million times, but nothing works, and no one offers to help. The hall starts to empty as people head to homeroom. I'm aware of someone standing beside me, closer than anyone has gotten. Is he gonna help? I turn my head and my breath catches. No. I stop his voice before it can go any further. My brain shifts through all the words I know, searching for one that isn't a slur. Black is all I come up with. But after talking with the counselor, I don't even know if that's okay or not. Something deep in my gut wonders if it's okay to use color as an identifier at all. But I describe everything with color. Green leaves, brown desk, white refrigerators, blue sky. It's one of those things that feel like it shouldn't matter, but it's at the same time it should. Is this something I picked up from the fort, or does everyone think this way? How am I supposed to find um how am I supposed to find out if no one will talk to me? The black guy glances over, and I realize I'm staring. I jerk my back to my combination dial. Uh, he opens his locker, blocking his face, but unloads his backpack. This is as close as I've gotten to someone with his color without attacking them. It sounds horrible. It is horrible. I never wanted to, but it's one of those things. Uh, if I didn't attack the people he commanded me to go after, he would hurt me instead. The instinct still rears in my head, just like it did with Skunky. His voice rings in my ears, ordering me to slam the guy's locker on his head. I can hear the crunch of metal on the brittle bone of the snap breaking cartilage. I close my eyes and find the light. It isn't far. It isn't this far this time. I beacon it close and I bathe in it. The hate washes out of me. When I open my eyes, the black guy's gone. The bell rings and a few people left the halls, rushing into classrooms. Doors close softly. I look at them. I look at the map again and find my homeroom. All conversation stops the moment I poke my head through the door. Dozens of eyes sear my skin as I make my way to one of the empty desks in the front row. Um, all eyes are on me. All eyes are behind me. All of those people doing God knows what, talking about me, quietly taunting me, getting ready to throw things. I miss my name when the teacher calls roll. She says 3 times before I remember I'm Clemens now, not Fuller. She makes a few announcements I don't hear. Everything sounds far away. That's probably the meds Trader made sure I took. The morning he threatened to hide my pill and a piece of this morning he threatened to hide my pill and a piece of cheese like he would a dog. It made me wonder why he doesn't have one. He seems like a dog guy, although any pet Trader owned would probably be as mean as he is. Instead of cheese, he stood over me, watching as I put the pill in my mouth, and made me open my mouth to prove that I swallowed it. I swallow hard now, almost as if I can feel the phantom pill haunting my throat. I fiddle with one of the pencils as a distraction, flipping it between my fingers. It slips and flies through the air, landing under a desk in the next row. The guy beside me leans over and stares at it, then looks at me with wide eyes. Instead of picking it up and giving it back, he pushes it in my direction with his toe. He rolls it in front of my desk, so I have to slide out of my seat to retrieve it. Thanks, asshole. Trader either picked the nastiest school he could find, or most people in the normal world are actually as cold and mean as the fort. I let the meds float me from class to class. Each one is exactly the same, full of wide, gaping stares and harsh whispers. This must be how zoo animals feel. I'm surrounded by an invisible cage, separated from everyone. I can live with that, as long as the cage stays between us, as long as nothing shatters it and lets the beast out of its enclosure. I'll be all right, and so will they. At the fort, we were all animals, free to roam and destroy each other if necessary. The world is safer if I'm in a cage. I spend each class period with my head down, scrawling 595 in my notebook, and making lists of everything that should possibly be in could possibly be in Trader's trunk. Anything to avoid all the eyes boring into my skull. Each teacher gives me a textbook and a stack of handouts. By lunch, my backpack is so heavy I'm afraid the straps will break. The long rectangular lunch tables in the center of the room are packed. Only the one on the far wall is mostly empty. I sit alone at the end and eat the turkey sandwich I made this morning. The meat is warm from being in my backpack all day, and the bread is squished and stale. I choke down the disgusting sandwich and scan the room. Real school isn't like this, like anything I've ever known. It's not like it's not like on the TV either. Everyone isn't separated into neat categories. Guys with thick, geeky looking glasses laugh with the guys in loose and high football t-shirts. The pretty girls sit with the not so pretty ones. The kids dressed all in black are mixed with the ones with the tight jeans and cowboy boots. White and black and Mexicans or Asians everyone here seems to get along with everyone else except me. No one even looks at me. They all laugh and talk easily, clapping each other on the back and pushing each other playfully. It's shocking how carefree they are. Everything at the fort was tense and strained, but these kids have never been afraid of their teasing would turn violent. Never had to worry about getting literally stabbed in the back. Never wondered what evil missions their parents have been waiting when they got home. Would have waiting when they got home. If they'd have to punch someone until their face was bloody or curb stomped into them until their face completely collapsed on itself like a crumbled paper bag. Suddenly, I can't watch anymore. I shove the last bite of sandwich in my mouth and go back to my locker and to try and unload some of the books. My combination is supposed to be 31, 17, 4. But as I run through the numbers over and over in my again, it feels like a cruel joke. Pass the first number, I mumble. Pass the second number, the second to the third. I lift the handle and it doesn't slide. Ugh! I hit the door with the side of my fist. That only helps on the freshman lockers, a deep voice says. Startled, I turn. The black guy is beside me again. He's slightly taller than me and a little more muscular, with the fuzz of hair on his head. I want to touch it to see if it's I want to touch it to see if it's as hard and brittle as it looks, like steel wool, or if it's coarse and springy like a sheep. I realize I'm staring like a weirdo and draw my gaze to his nice clothes. His bright green polo fits well, and his dark jeans aren't the slightest bit baggy. Shit, that was probably racist. Honestly, though his clothes are better than most people in this place. It makes me self-conscious about my thrift short jeans and faded t-shirt. He smooths down his own combination dial and tosses a book into his locker. I start to twist my dial again, but he swats my hand away. Dude, I can't take it anymore. Look, start at 0, then turn right. Well, then, what's your first number? 31. Okay, you're gonna pass it the first time around, and then go straight to it. The dial stops at 31. Next, 17. I turn left and do the same thing. Last one, 4. Go right again, but stop soon as you get to the number. He pulls the handle on the lockers, and the locker door swings open. He immediately shuts it again. You try. It takes 2 attempts, but it finally opens for me. Thanks. I could only watch you struggle for so long, man. But he shrugs. You look familiar. Did you transfer from Holly Buff? I feel my blood pumping. He recognized me. Oh God. No, I say as calmly as I manage. From out of state. His eyebrows furrow. I swear I've seen you somewhere. I just have one of those faces. He closes his locker. I thought I might have played ball against you. Anyways, see you around. That was close. I watch him loop away. dawns on me. I had my first actual conversation with a black person. There were a handful at the psych center, but I rarely saw them, and we never spoke. I don't know if the orderlies intentionally kept me away from them, or if it was just coincidence. For half a second, I wished he was still alive, because the moment would kill him all over again.